Let's move now here. The problem we had with this, you see it in reflection mode. Switch to subdivision mode using the tab tool. I want this and this, all these edges, and I want to this edge. Okay, I want to harden all these edges, so right click, edge weight with a value of 100%, and this is a problem. This very ugly seams. This can be fixed very easily. The problem with this is we're using a standard subdivision model. As you may already know, in Modo there is a second subdivision model. For the regular, the standard subdivision model, just hit tab, but you can hit to shift tab. That brings a second subdivision model called Catmull-Clark that can deal much more efficiently with this kind of tasks. So if I hit space again, so I get back to my edge selection, right click, edge weight again, and boom, there you have. These edges are hardened and we have no more of these ugly seams. So this is solved by using the second subdivision mode, Catmull-Clark. You can see it deals much more efficiently with this edge hardening thing. And for the last part, I want to make this, as I told you, a bit more roundy. So I'm gonna double click all this and select all these front polys. Okay, and I'm gonna use a fall off. Let me switch to the front view and use the radial fall off from the center, something like this, and also I will define better this radial fall off. Place it here, and now we can hit W to move. So we will move the selection according to the radial fall off. Let's make it a bit subtle, about here. Yeah, this will be it. Okay, hit space to deselect the tool, then set the fall off to none, and maybe I could select the Audi logo and make sure it's in good contact with the surface, like this. Okay, that looks much better. With these fixes done, the next step would be repeat all the process in the other four different areas. We're gonna make it not manually, obviously. You already know the process to make a duplicate and radial array to replicate these new shapes, but I'm gonna skip this process so I don't bore you, and you already know the process. So let's move on. I will skip this step and move on to the next phase. Now, to complete the modeling, what we need is duplicate this, actually mirror it. So I'm going to duplicate, mirror in the Z axis and apply. So we have this mirror. From top view, I'm going to select everything, Ctrl X, and in a new mesh, Ctrl V. And we can start fixing the shape and converting it to the shape we need. What we need is to convert everything, all this, into a single ring without strokes. So to do that, we need to select all these polys, then go to select, invert, and remove everything. Now we can make a radial array of this element. If we count all this loop, double click on this loop, and here we have 120 edges, so we need 120 clones of this shape in a radial array. So I'm going to duplicate radial array with a count of 120 around the z-axis and apply. So now what we have here is this strip of polys. It's not very well optimized to perfectly define our 120 radial array. So I can select this group of 3 strips, and again select, invert, and remove. Now with the vertex mode selected, I'm going to select this and this. I'm going to switch to wireframe. These two, vertex join average, and I will switch to flat polys. That's it. These pair of vertices, vertex join average. Those two. If you want to repeat the last command, you can press Ctrl R, like this. Ctrl R, Ctrl R. I'm going to repeat the join average command with all this pair of vertices. And this one too. Okay. Now this strip of polys is actually optimized to make a 120 radial array. So let's select those two. Now if I go to duplicate, again radial array with a count of 120 around the z-axis and apply, here we have, this is a flat rim. We have 100 and okay, yeah, this is a bit disconnected, so I can go first to geometry mesh cleanup, and it must work more or less. Let's go to vertex merge with a fixed distance of 1 millimeter, and yeah, now it works. Now the mesh is clean. So we have 120, you can see it, and 120 in the outside. Okay, let's move this guy a bit more, and now I'm going to select here, hit Z to extend. Let's extend this way. Now I want to make sure this edge and this edge are perfectly aligned, so I can use the R tool, the scale tool, and flatten all the selections. That's it. So now I can double click here, bridge with no auto connection, and boom, there you have. Select all this loop and move it about, let's say here, yeah, something like that. Okay, this is our part. Now let's get back to the other mesh. Let's see what can we do here. We have here 120. and we must have here 120 inside. Let's see how to achieve this. So what I'm gonna do now is select this part. I'm going to select these two edges, press up arrow to extend the selection. Same here, up arrow several times to extend the selection. This part as well, this part also, and finally this part. Okay, now it's set to extend, and extend it about here, 80 edges. Now select here, 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 extend again. See what we have. 90 edges. Okay, now we have 90 edges. Let's pop up the calculator. We need 120 minus 20 minus 90 edges. We must 30 edges. 30 edges extra, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. So these 30 missing edges must be created inside these 10 strokes. So 30 divided by 10 is 3. So obviously we need to patch these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right click, modeling operation, bridge, and we must raise this value. So we have 1, 2, 3. Oh no, that's not the thing. That's not what I want. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the edge I want. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Now yes, right click, bridge. We need 3 segments here. 1, 2, 3. Yes, that's it. 1, 2, 3. And now repeat the operation in the other strokes. This one and this one. We have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right click, bridge, and we have. I'm having this curvy shape because I didn't configure well the bridge operation. Right click, bridge. This is in curve mode. We must use a linear mode. Okay, now that's it. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right click, bridge, and boom. Once we have this strokes done, we can select this patch, this 1, 2, go to duplicate radial array with a count of 5. That's it. Run the z-axis and apply. There we have our patches done. Let's run a mesh cleanup. Okay, everything seems to be fine. So I can select these 3. These 3. Go selecting every 3 edges of this part. And it's done. Okay, now we can extend this, and it must be 120. If I did it well, let's select it, and yeah, 120. Let's flatten this like so, and again mesh cleanup, seems to be some kind of errors here and there. So let's go to vertex merge with a fixed range of 1 millimeter. Okay, let's see what we have here. Vertex join average. Vertex join average. Let's see what else. Join average. Join average. There are some errors here and there. Join average. And I think this is it. We have one more here. Join average. Okay. Now we have all this loop, 120 edges, and because we modified this poly density, this shape is not completely circular. This is very easy to fix. We only need to go to the form and use the radial line tool, and boom, there you have perfect circle. Okay, very nice. So we can now double click here. I will extend flatten this and bridge. Right click, bridge, segments to 0, and there you have it. So now we can move this about here. Okay, very nice. And this is what we have. We can now make a loop slice here, uniform with a count of 1. Also here, select all this loop, and right click and make a bridge. Oh, sorry, you can't bridge two separate meshes, so we need to cut this piece, paste it here, and now we can select this loop, right click, bridge, and what do we have here? There's something where let's remove these polys. Double click here, right click and bridge. Okay, and double click here, right click, bridge, and boom. Okay,